Hey guys, welcome to Break It Yourself, and today we're going to be going over how to assemble your cabinet doors. First thing we're going to do is take all of our 1/2 inch plywood center panels and we're going to sand them down. So that was the first step. Took all these center panels, every single one of them. We have a random orbital sander, sanded them down with 220 grit sandpaper. That was our first step. Next, we're gonna dry fit everything. So we're gonna assemble it, we're gonna dry fit it, make sure that everything fits nicely before we glue it up. So let's go ahead and get everything how we want, dry fit it, and then we'll go from there. So in this process, what you may find out, you might have some gaps, you might not be able to get everything to fit nicely. One of the biggest problems you may have is when you are rabbiting the plywood. If the plywood was warped a little bit, you weren't pressing as hard on the piece as it went over. It can be a little thicker in some areas than others. So keep some sandpaper handy, or maybe just the sander, so that when you dry fit things, if it's not fitting exactly right, take it apart, sand what needs to be sanded. It may not be perfect, even though you may think the setup is perfect. From piece to piece, it may vary ever so slightly. So just keep that in mind, that if it's not fitting perfectly, because this one is not fitting perfectly, right? That we've got a little gap down here, and then I've got to work this piece up here to see what the issue is. This one looks a little better. So the top, top looks okay. The way that we cut our center panels, we actually have a little bit of play. That was done intentionally, just because it'd be really hard to get the measurements exactly right, everything just perfect so that the panel could sit there. Also, you had the issue of expansion and contraction. So the rails and stiles are going to expand and contract at a different rate than the plywood. One, because it's plywood and it's more stable, and two, they're different materials. So we have these rubber spacers. I'll show you a close-up of that, but we have these rubber balls essentially, and what you do is you put them in the grooves. Now, depending on the size that you actually cut the panel, you might need them all the way around, only on one side. You might only need one, you might need two. So in my case, I think I'm going to put two along one of the rails, and then two along one of the stiles. So the next step, this is our dry fit. We'll take it apart. We'll then apply glue to the tongues on our rails. And once the glue is applied, we'll put it together. We'll clamp it. And then what I do is I take some 5/8 inch nails and shoot it from the back side. So essentially, if this is your groove and this is your tongue, I shoot through. It doesn't go all the way through because this is 3/4 inch and I have 5/8 inch nails, I believe. And then, so I shoot 2 to 3 in each corner. That way I can take my clamps off, since I don't have a ton of clamps. Because we've got, I don't know, almost 24, 25, something like that, doors. And in order, you only need to clamp it really for like 20, 30 minutes. But in order to keep going, I only have probably 6 large clamps, so that's 3 doors. I think I can assemble a little faster than one every 10 minutes. So I just like to shoot nails, immediately take the clamp off, that door's done, move on. Got our glue. I keep a wet rag as well as a bowl handy just to wipe it. I know I'm gonna have excess glue coming out, especially when you clamp it down. Some glue is gonna come out, so be prepared to wipe it up. This has our rubber spacers in it. time for the brad nails. I'm gonna put 2 to 3 into each tongue. So I'm gonna shoot them into the stile through the tongue that's in the rail. Now we'll take the clamps off and we should be good to go. There we go. Now it's held together just fine. And I have my clamps back now. And now that center panel doesn't move around at all. Only 29 to go. That's the spirit.